Mike Rondo, welcome to my channel. Crack open a beer here. So I decided tonight's video, or today's video, whatever you may want to call it, I've decided to elaborate a little bit on my ghost story, which I had a few comments about it, or inquiries about it. I thought I'd mentioned it in the video, but I didn't, I guess. And it's a valid question from one of the my subscribers or someone who saw the video, asking if were there any alcohol or drugs involved this night in question, and no, not at all. I don't do drugs. I never liked drugs. It's not my thing. Now drinking I do like drinking, but that was prior to me getting into my binge drinking days. I had to be about 19 or 20 around this time frame. I didn't start really drinking crazy till about 23. So alcohol was not a factor. Neither were drugs. That wasn't my cup of tea. Not even marijuana. None of that never appealed to me. And even at the time, drinking wasn't, for some strange reason, which is surprising, to be honest. I'm really surprised I didn't drink as a teenager. I don't know why I didn't, but it just never appealed to me. I was too busy doing other things. But I just wanted to point that out. Also, if you saw the thumbnail, there were monks. That's what those were. Those are the monks that were at the Cumberland Monastery. And the gentleman in the darker robes, I believe they were black. They could have been brown. I don't know. It was a black and white photo. But that is the type of cloak or what the figure looked like, except there was no face. You see how you can see in the photo, you can see that face. It was more over the face more, and there was no face where there should have been a face. And like I said, when I get out of the video, in the video where I get out of the Jeep and I point to where they go, the other gentleman, I think it was Redcoat that pointed it out. Was it a mirage or something like that? And normally if it had been in a hot summer day, I would have said possibility. But this had to be about 40 degrees, 38 degrees around there. I don't know if you have cold weather mirages. I don't believe you do, but maybe I'm wrong on that. I don't know the science on that. But there was nothing like that. It's a very puzzling situation. I was talking to a friend earlier. They inquired about it, and they were talking to me about it. And for me, I'm always going to be skeptical and wonder what the hell it was. And like I said in the video, I think it was some kind of a psychosis thing. But it throws me off is because I was with my friend John, and we both saw the same thing, and we reacted the same way. That'll always baffle me. So to me, I don't believe in ghosts, but you know, there are things that happen where you're like, I guess maybe they are real. I don't know. I'm also humble enough to admit that, you know, we don't have all the answers to what goes on in the universe, and we might not, at some time, we might not know everything, and that makes life interesting. I don't know, it's just a very bizarre thing, and I don't know, maybe we'll have the answers one day for what I saw or experienced, or why people experience these apparitions or whatnot, but I don't know. It's a very, I still have the figure burned into my memory of what it looked like exactly. I wish I could draw, because I would draw it and show it, but I'm horrible at drawing. The best I could do is have that thumbnail for a picture to say that's the cloak that I saw, basically. But that's as close as I could get to it. I mean, you know, I like I said in the video, I believe I said that we'd been ghost hunting for like a month. Prior to that, we were investigating, so to speak. At the time, we were taking like Polaroid cameras or the disposable cameras at the time. This is before cell phones with the cameras or digital cameras or anything like that. So we were doing that, and we were taking videos and stuff like that, but nothing ever like this. This is, you know, and I sometimes think like things like this happen when there is no camera around. Like you have no, you know, that's when you experience these things. But again, we were both looking for something. So I feel like it's some kind of a mental something happened there. I can't explain it. It's odd, bizarre. Maybe I was crazy that one night. I don't know, but it was, I don't know. It's hard to explain. I'll never be able to explain it. It's always going to haunt me, if you will, of what I saw. I probably should have changed the filter, by the way, on this. My tobacco is dried out a little, so I got to bring this in rehydrated, I think. Although it's not bad, it's still smoking really good. It's just crackling a little. Still smells pretty good. It smokes good. But, and you know, the more bizarre thing is I've never experienced this ever again when I went to the monastery. And I've been to the monastery a bazillion times, and I've never experienced it again, which is always baffling to me. It was like the right circumstances and the right moment, and this happened. You know? But reading that book, it says there's monks that kind of appear. I don't recall any of my friends saying they've experienced a ghost or an apparition like that, but they've always said strange things have happened, lights coming on and off in the monastery, you know, books moving, certain sounds and stuff like that. And none of that I really experienced. I've never experienced any of that. There was one night prior to this happening when we were investigating. It was me, John, and my then high school sweetheart at the time. We were walking around and the lights were on in the library at the time, and this was well after the library closed, and we thought we saw shadows moving, like a person moving. That could have been anything. So I never really considered that anything, but this one particular night, I mean, it was just very strange. Maybe I'll go back one night. I'll take the video camera. I'll go back and check it out. See if anything appears. Huh? Wouldn't that be cool if I actually caught something on tape? Or, well, not tape, but digital video, whatever you want to call it, on an SD card, I guess. I don't know. Tape sounds better, though, don't you think? What do we say? Ooh, an SD card. That sounds stupid. But anyway. But thank you for the feedback. I appreciate it. It was kind of fun making those 2 on-location videos. I was a little apprehensive, as you could tell. Kind of had I look like a douchebag with this camera talking into it, and people were going about. But I kind of got over that. There is another, now, it is Halloween, so there'll be a lot of Halloween-themed kind of things this month from my channel. There is one other interesting thing with the monastery. There are a lot of strange things that happen around that building and that land. In the old days, especially in the 80s, now, I'm sure some of my subscribers grew up in the 80s like me did, like I did, like me did? Anyway, like I did, and even in the 70s, there was this thing with the whole Satanist thing. There was a big whole thing of people worried about satanic things and stuff. And one of the things that happened, and I've seen this, I've witnessed this, where there's a fire going on in the backwoods of the monastery and someone's banging a drum. I have no idea what that is, but everyone thinks like the Satanists are in the, the monastery or whatever. And it's funny, off the trail, and maybe I'll do another video in the monastery, and I'll show this, because I'm sure I'll go back there again. When you hit the trail, it's like in the beginning, you hit the trail, there's like this big rock near the playground. And in it, there's this thing hollowed out, like this little circle, like this. Maybe smaller than that. It's like that. And I thought this whole satanic thing was a bunch of hoopla. Like, yeah, okay, it's not real. But my friend Tim at the time, we would ride our bikes all the time and go in and out of those trails and explore everything and look for weird things. And one day we were in the trail and we stopped at this point and we looked and we saw that little cutout in the rock. And then we put our fingers in it and we pulled out a piece of paper. There wasn't anything satanic on it, but there was some kind of writing. I don't know what it was. It was just bizarre. But the rumor my friend Tim came up with was, well, what he thought was the satanic people putting messages there or something like that. Who knows? I never believed in the whole satanic thing at the monastery. I think that was the church up the road that was trying to convince people that there were Satanists or something. Who knows? Crazy times in the 80s with the whole satanic cults and all this other stuff, which was blamed on a few other things, and I don't know. It was bizarre. The drum thing, I just think someone was back there banging on a drum and lit a fire. That's probably what happened. So, I'm curious if anybody else has a ghost story like mine. I'm just wondering if you've experienced something similar to mine, or maybe you felt a presence, the room got cold, something odd that you can't explain. I'm curious because I love those stories. Again, I don't believe in them, but I still find them fascinating. And tomorrow's video, if all goes well, I'll be visiting a vampire. And Rhode Island has no shortage of vampire stories. So, and this one's special to me because, well, I'll explain in the video tomorrow. But in any case, I look forward to that. There is one particular vampire site. I could go to it, but you won't know where the grave is, so I probably won't go to that location, but I'll talk about it. So we'll see. I don't know. The month of October's here. I'm excited. It'll be a fun time. And that's going to do it for this video. So I will catch you guys tomorrow. Hopefully I'm on location again, and we see a vampire's grave. Although it's technically not there. I'll explain that all tomorrow. But anyway, I'm out of here. I'm going to finish my pipe. It's getting warm in here. This is why I'm cutting the video a little short. I had my sweatshirt on. The sun must have been beaming on this, and it got warm, so I'm going to open the door and relax a little and enjoy my pipe and my beer. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.